The Golden Mountain. What if I told you that beneath one of the world's most famous rivers lies a treasure so vast it could trigger the next global conflict? Today, we're diving into real historical events that reveal how the discovery of gold and precious stones has shaped civilizations, toppled empires, and cost millions of lives, and why experts believe the pattern is about to repeat itself. This story begins with a 16th century Spanish historian named John Rodriguez, who wrote the Chronicles of El Carnero. As a young man, Rodriguez accompanied Spanish conquistadors into the Amazon jungle. What they witnessed there would change the course of history. Rodriguez documented an extraordinary ritual he observed among the Muisca tribe. He wrote, "All the people of the tribe stood on the bank of a lake, wearing golden crowns. The king began applying powdered gold to his body until he shimmered like salt in sunlight. We had never seen such a beautiful sight in our lives. The king then boarded a boat made of solid gold and sailed into the lake. The gathered crowd began throwing precious stones and gold pieces into the water, so much treasure that it seemed endless. After this ritual, the person emerged from the lake as their official king. The Spanish named this king El Dorado, the Golden One, alt text. News of this golden kingdom spread rapidly across Europe, and conquistadors flocked to South America searching for this legendary lake of gold. In 1537, conquistador Hernan Perez actually found the lake. Their obsession with gold was so intense that they immediately began extracting water with buckets. Incredibly, they recovered gold worth approximately $1.5 million in today's currency. But lakes can't be emptied with buckets. They dumped ditches around the entire lake, lowering the water level by 65 feet. Again, they found gold and jewels, but their greed led them to dig deeper, until the ditches collapsed, killing about 100 workers. The survivors refused to continue. By then, they had extracted roughly $15 million worth of gold in today's money. In 1898, British explorer Hartley Knowles brought industrial-age technology to the lake. He decided to drain it completely using heavy-duty excavators and underground tunnels. The plan worked. The lake was drained, leaving only 4 feet of thick mud. But this mud proved impossible to work with when wet, and when it dried, it hardened like cement. Knowles invested so much money that his company went bankrupt. Finally, in 1929, Colombia banned all salvage operations on the lake. Today, no one is allowed near it. But what happened to all the gold the Europeans extracted? This takes us to Antwerp, Belgium. Where a Venezuelan merchant wrote, "Hundreds of ships and thousands of carts enter Antwerp daily, carrying thousands of tons of gold, silver, and precious stones from the Amazon jungle." Antwerp has become the center of the world's economy. During my research of European documents from the 15th and 16th centuries, I calculated that Spain transferred approximately 563,000 carats of gold, silver, pearls, rubies, and emeralds from the Amazon to Europe. This wealth made Spain the richest and most powerful kingdom in the world. A French traveler wrote in 1603, "Everything in Spain has value except gold and silver." There is so much gold in this country that food seems cheaper than gold. There is so much wealth that Spain will soon go bankrupt. And that's exactly what happened. Spain's economy collapsed, leading to some of Europe's worst wars. You can see how the world has always fought over gold. Whenever people catch the scent of gold somewhere, wars follow. In 1850, two brothers named Arnold and Johannes de Beer were farming in South Africa when diamonds were discovered on their land. The British government forced them to sell. Initially, diamonds came out normally, but then they found an 83-carat diamond called the Star of South Africa, revealing an entire diamond field beneath their farm. The famous Rothschild family created a company to control these diamonds, De Beers, named after the brothers. This became such a powerful diamond cartel that within 40 years, 90% of the world's diamonds were controlled by De Beers. But the diamonds I want to focus on are known by a special name, blood diamonds. These are diamonds with long stories of bloodshed behind their extraction. Take the Ivory Coast in Africa. In 1999, diamonds were discovered there, and for 25 years since, the country has never been stable, or rather, was never allowed to be stable. Multinational companies removed the government, turning the Ivory Coast and Liberia into diamond smuggling havens. In Sierra Leone, when diamond fields were discovered, a rebel group called the Revolutionary United Front RUF was formed. Initially claiming to seek justice and democracy, they later cut off the legs of anyone who tried to vote. They funded their operations by capturing diamond mines. According to National Geographic, in just 3 years, 4 million people in Africa died fighting over these diamond mountains. In some areas, 99 out of 100 people were killed. In 1999, the United Nations documented that the terrorist organization UNITA in Angola was buying weapons in exchange for diamonds. And who bought those diamonds and supplied the weapons? The world's largest diamond company, De Beers. Notice the pattern. In African countries like Ivory Coast, Angola, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, when diamond mountains were discovered, the local people didn't fight over the diamonds. Instead, multinational corporations came to fight over those mountains, killing 99 out of 100 people in the process. This historical pattern reveals something crucial. When massive treasures are discovered, especially in remote locations, it's not the local populations who benefit. Instead, powerful corporations and nations swoop in, leading to devastating conflicts. The same pattern occurred with Hernan Cortes, who, upon hearing about cities of gold, destroyed the entire Aztec Empire. These aren't isolated incidents. This has happened throughout history, and will happen again. The only difference is that whatever happens next will be 1,000 times more severe. But there's more to this story. Let me tell you about a place where a mountain of treasure lies buried beneath a river right now. In the Indian states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana lies an area once known as the Golconda Sultanate. According to great historians like Marco Polo and Pliny, until the 17th century, Golconda was the only place in the world producing diamonds. At its peak, 38 diamond mines operated there. The largest and most famous was the Koh-i-Noor diamond mine, where 66,000 people worked. Golconda produced the world's most famous diamonds, all type to A grade, the most elite class, representing only 1 to 2% of all diamonds worldwide. You've heard of some of these diamonds: the Koh-i-Noor diamond, now in England, the infamous Hope diamond in America, famous for being cursed, and several others now scattered across the globe. About 64,000 people once worked in the Koh-i-Noor mines, men, women, and children. Men worked underground while women and children worked above ground. But in the 19th century, something strange happened. Gradually, floods overtook the Koh-i-Noor mine. The river claimed the mine, and slowly, this place sank 50 feet underwater. Today, recovering this mine would require enormous funding and resources with no guarantee of success. Remember what happened to Hartley Knowles? He drained the lake's water, but mud prevented him from going deeper. We know that even today, beneath that Indian River, a mountain of the world's biggest diamonds could be buried. A treasure lies there, but we can't do anything about it. What if, at some point in the future, that river changes its course? What if the water recedes, revealing that great treasure of diamonds and gold beneath? And what if, when people hear about it, when multinational corporations learn of it, they move toward it? The people living near that treasure, the locals, would face corporate armies fighting battles. That would make the African diamond wars look small. The massacre would probably be 1,000 times more severe than what we've seen in Africa. This is why I've told you these stories, to show you real-life examples. The only difference is that whatever happens next will be far more severe. The pattern is clear throughout history. Massive treasure discoveries lead to massive conflicts. And somewhere, perhaps beneath one of the world's great rivers, the next chapter of this story is waiting to unfold.